We are developing a project, a large project in a territory where there is no mine. And certainly Wimminji and some of the other Cree communities have never really been involved in mining. And we are going to be one of the first projects to be developed in the area, but we're developing this project really in conjunction with the Cree Nation and Wimminji, and we're really making them part of the process.
You know, when I first started in mining and exploration, they told me like it was coming. So I really like the benefit out of it. It's been helping out a lot of my friends. Probably bring more jobs to the youth, you know, more education.
The community is taking a very proactive approach, which lends itself to the unique relationship. So they're able to much more quickly identify the common interests and work a lot more closely together. The company itself is very transparent. For example, the project itself went through a recent evolution in its in the nature and in its scheduling and the way it's going to be executed, and the company was very transparent about those changes and so on.
All the preconceived ideas about how the standards of mining and all these things has been beneficial to the community as a whole. I think we've done all these big presentations to our community. We got people to come in and say, look, this is what mining is. And you know, we wanted our members to have an informed opinion of mining practices. And I think that's one of the key things. Now people are more supportive of it because there are regulations, there are specific issues that have to be dealt with in terms of water quality and the environmental issues and the wildlife. These are all things that are sort of taken into consideration, and those were the preoccupations the members had. So now they have a better understanding of how this is working.
Right now we're in the exploration mode. We're trying to get into an advanced exploration phase right now. We're trying to facilitate life and improve the life quality of the people over there. We have about 100 men on camp, on site, and we're finding a lot of new information for the conceptual design of that mine, Eleonore.
En fait, ici, les digues vont être d'un côté de l'autre de la vallée, entre les deux collines de roc. Et notre carrière pour construction des digues et pour la fourniture de certains agrégats va être une butte de roc qu'on a passé à côté. On va être bon pour probablement à peu près tout ce qui va être construction.
Puis où est-ce que tu as trouvé du gravier? Plus loin
à droite,
dans le banc, là?
Ouais. Okay, à droite, la veine, elle continue, puis elle s'en va, là, elle suit le chemin par après.
The Eleonore project was purchased by Goldcorp, Inc. from Virginia Mines back in early 2006. And at that time, we continued the advanced exploration. And we also started doing some general studies on the project to try to determine what this mine may look like in the future.
Eleonore is one of the better gold discoveries in Canada in the last maybe 20 years. And it's a very high-profile project in Canada and around the world. And as a geologist, to bring this project from early stage to production stage is something that not every geologist get a chance to do.
Well, currently with the public resource that we've issued, which is at 3.7 million ounces, and that resource is actually growing as we continue the advanced exploration. We fully expect that the feasibility study itself will be looking at a resource probably of 5 million ounces or so. And at that point, we expect the mine to be somewhere between, I'm going to say 10 and 20 years. It's hard to determine because it's fairly early in the process.
It's a discovery that was made in a fairly unexplored belt or unexplored area, and the potential to find other deposits is very good. So I think in the next few years you will see a lot of new discoveries, and this is very exciting for a geologist.
We started the relationship with WomenG right away when we purchased the project in early 2006. I actually came up with some members of my team to WomenG to meet Chief Rodney Mark and some of the council members. And we were able to introducing mining to the WomenG staff and to the community. And we've had various events that we attended that we were able to participate in. We also followed that up with agreeing to develop a collaboration agreement with the Cree Nation in general, but WomenG in particular, and it's been extremely positive. It's something that we've worked jointly together, so the process has been quite fantastic and very fruitful for all involved.
With regards to the Cree Nation as a whole, I think this is the first major mining project throughout the whole territory. So it's a learning process for everybody, but you can see that the community and the Cree regional government will be working together so that it's a mutually beneficial relationship for everybody involved, all three levels, the company, regional government, and the community itself.
At the negotiating table, it's fabulous. I mean, we seem to go in the same direction we want to go. We complement each other's ideas and the aspirations of where we want to take this project. You know, we want to bring something to the table. They want to bring something to the community with a valued impact.
We do need to communicate a lot with the people, with the Tallyman, with the people from WomenG to explain what's coming up. Every time we've met with them, they want us to help, they have good ideas.
That's a good point. Do we have anything that addresses conflict of interest in any of this? We should have a clause somewhere.
They are very open to working and to learning and to developing a long-term relationship. And they've always, since we've sat down with them, since I've started working, I've always seen them as very proactive and very serious.
This is a private sector that's going to open the doors, and I think it's going to have a huge value of impact to the community in terms of employment, in terms of really well-paid jobs too, and also setting up businesses in terms of getting those contracts. That's the vision. In terms of training, in terms of these things, I mean, it opens the door for the community members to get the education in the sciences. I mean, this is something that we want to sort of promote to the kids, that we want to say, look, you know, we need to promote science, we need to promote math, we need to promote the value of education in the community to get these jobs. At the end of the day, when the mine closes, we're going to have skilled people in the community.
It will open up, I would say, new opportunities for youth, for not only for employment, but career opportunities. There'll be something in addition to what they have in the community. It will certainly change a few things. You know, a mining of this scale obviously means more people in the region, more access, and you know, with access comes different types of impact, whether they be social impacts or could be impacts on wildlife to the extent of maybe impacts on the way of life of the Cree trappers. So there's certainly going to be a change once the mine is in operation.
The environmental issues are very, very important. We follow within Goldcorp and Opanaka Mines some of the strictest standard, not only the regulatory standards that we have to meet, which are both provincial and federal, but on top of that we follow principles, and we fully expect to protect the environment, and actually one of our goals is very often to improve the environment that we work in.
You know, they come with a pretty high standards of trying to protect the environment. They've been pretty open to ensuring that there are measures there to monitor any negative impact on the environment and the way of life of the Cree. And the implementation of it, of course, will be the real way of measuring how well they perform and how well they attend to the objectives of the agreement.
When we are working on these types of agreements, we're trying to make sure that we harmonize all the interests of all the parties. Of course, at the end of the day, there will be a document, there will be lawyers looking at it and making sure that the document correctly reflects what the intentions of the parties are.
Amen. The relationship with the Wemengee Cree, I think, is very good. We've spent a lot of effort to try to offer opportunities for the people, and depending on the skills that they have. And we do employ quite a significant amount of people from Wemengee. From different types of work, and we're also working very hard to try to train these people and try to integrate them within our project here. And a very good example also is we're trying to not only integrate the Cree within this project, but also integrate us into the Cree culture. And we have sort of a festivity to learn more about the Cree culture, and so we'll share some activities and traditional meal and all that will be done by the Cree from Wemengee.
We've got many different cultures that work on this site and that we deal with, and we want everybody to be able to appreciate each other. That allows the Cree people to get to know the site and the operations.
As Crees, our economy is developing, is changing, and is evolving, and we no longer live exclusively off the land. So we have to look at diversifying our economy and the ways we participate in the development of the territory, because if we participate, then we can have a greater say in how it's done.
He's going to do the conto.
Here comes Darren. Come on. Where's I going with? Rodney. Goose.
As a Cree, I think I recognize that these are very challenging times for Crees. The roles we're expected to play as Cree they vary greatly today. On one hand, we're expected to be lawyers, engineers, environmental technicians, working with development. But on the other hand, there's the natural part inside of us that wants to remain on the land, fishing, hunting, trapping, remaining with families on the land, not traveling so much. And the reason I say it's extremely challenging right now is because we're trying to manage both.